Alrighty, welcome back. We are 11 weeks out, or about 10 and a half from the first Melbourne show. So I don't know if I discussed this on my last video, but IFBB sort of changed the times. So the Adelaide show has been moved forward a week, and that's the same weekend as the Melbourne regional show. So cost-wise, it makes much more sense to go to Melbourne. It's like double the cost to go to Adelaide and do the shows there. Plus, it's going to be better talent at the Melbourne show, which will help prove a point. So I think that's going to be a lot better. But I'm about to do some work, just having some brekkie, smash out some work, got a client call, and then I'll do some study, and then we'll get ready and we'll go hit legs. Leg day. This is just a warm up. Do a bit of pigeon stretch and couch stretch. Now with our leg day, we have 45-degree back extensions, we have leg extensions, seated leg curl, and Hatfield split squat. So, like, leg day itself isn't big, and we're not intentionally driving a ton of intensity. Like, the sets are still fucking hard, don't get me wrong, I'm not training like a bitch, but we're not going to like failure, because like the biggest thing in prep, especially when it comes to legs, we're trying to actually reduce fatigue, because what we're trying to do is essentially just maintain muscle, improve recovery and reduce stress. So if I'm to go fucking balls to the wall during my leg days, then I'm going to induce a ton of stress, and then it's harder to recover from, and that's not what we really want. Like, as I said, we're training hard enough to be able to maintain muscle, but it's not our driving reason for training at the moment. Just retaining muscle, that's all it is, fine tuning. And if you're not doing your fucking mobility work, please do your mobility work.
I guarantee a lot of people that struggle to grow muscle is because their mobility sucks.
Now, a lot of people get confused on the difference between mobility versus flexibility. Flexibility is your ability to be able to get into a position. Like, for example, when you're sitting down touching your toes, right? Whereas mobility is your ability... Oh, there's a lady back in right next to me. So mobility... So as I was saying, mobility is your ability to be able to load under a certain range of motion. So what we're doing is we're opening up to be able to load under a greater range of motion. A good example of mobility is shoulder mobility, being able to lift your arm a certain level up above your head and behind your head. Or even, for example, like thoracic and rib cage mobility is a lot to do with like twisting and turning. Like, how far can you turn your body without your hips taking over and doing the twisting for you? Stuff like that. Also, two things when it comes to legs, specifically growing glutes. For the dudes, don't neglect your glutes, alright? If you want to have a fuck back, then sure, neglect your glutes, but if you want to have essentially a back that still works for you, you want to have strong glutes. There's a lot of exercises that require glute strength, and if your glutes are weak and your lower back is significantly stronger, it's going to want to take over in a lot of exercises. Now, as girls are the main ones that want to grow glutes, when it comes to actually growing glutes, you want to focus a lot on pelvic rotation. So a lot of people, when they do a glute exercise, is they go into what's called an anterior pelvic rotation. That is essentially where kind of like you're arching your lower back, like what a lot of girls do in Instagram photos to try and make their ass look bigger. Big mistake. When you're doing that, you're actually switching your core off and you're causing your lower back to engage a lot more, which obviously is therefore taking away contraction from your glutes. So you want to have a neutral pelvic tilt. What that means is neutral is pelvis, pelvis is neutral, spine's neutral, but this is going to be done because your core will be switched on. So the way I like to think about it to get into a neutral pelvic positioning is do a half crunch, but instead of like crunching your upper body over yourself, imagine crunching your hips under yourself, almost like a bit of a mini thrust. And this is therefore going to allow your glutes to switch on more to get more contraction, but as well your core is going to be switched on taking load off of your lower back. which is super important for a lot of leg movements, as it requires, well, for glutes, a lot of it is like hip extension stuff, right? And if your lower back's doing all the work in hip extensions work, then you're kind of just fucking training lower back at that point. So very, very important. And as well, for you girls that are trying to grow your glutes, start learning how to train heavy. Like, the best way you can do that is by doing exercises where it is safe to fail. Things like a glute drive, or for example with RDLs, do dumbbells, because you can just bail out of them and drop them. You know, so it's important that you learn how to fail and to train properly hard, because a lot of you girls are a lot more capable than what you'd actually think. Hello, sir. How are you? Alrighty. 10.5 weeks out from first show. Very excited. Like, it's weird because we've worked so hard on, I guess, stress reduction side of things. You know, I'm not stressing as much. Like, I'm not really worried about, well, how do I look for this, and comparing myself to other people. Honestly, I've got a coach that I trust, so I literally just tick the boxes that he tells me to tick. If he's happy with how things are moving, sweet, we keep moving. If he tells me to change something, copy that, and we keep fucking moving. So, big tip for a lot of you who either have a coach or looking at getting a coach: stop trying to be the coach. Like, just be the athlete, tick the boxes, track the data, communicate if something's wrong, and you'll be fucking fine, given that you have a good coach. Because every good coach has rhyme to their reason. Like, if they've done something, they've put something in place, it's for a reason. So, listen to your fucking coach. Pro tip, if you're learning to do B stance RDLs, now me, I've been doing this shit for 12 years, I've never had to fucking do B stance RDLs until the past few weeks. You're sort of learning how to do B stance RDLs, so that way you don't put too much pressure on your back foot. Put a dumbbell like this, because if you put too much pressure on it, obviously it's going to tip, so it can be very helpful. fuck, I hate that exercise. Sucks nuts. As a dude, this is gonna be one of the most fucking humbling exercises, bro. I see some girls in here doing like double the amount of weight I can do. Like I've seen a couple girls do like 4 plates on this. I'm like, how many? Oh well. One thing I do love about this gym that I train at is, because I train at a world gym, is that it actually has like proper bodybuilders like painted on the wall, which is like their like trademark, where they have like people on the walls. And this one has like 2 like Olympia level bikini competitors, and also has Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman. Whereas I see a lot of other ones and it'll have like The Rock. Like I don't know why they keep putting The Rock. I don't know who the hell still uses The Rock as like a gym motivation, inspiration, but very like 2011. Like amazing dude, but in terms of gym motivation, bro, he just ain't it. I guess like dads maybe. I see a lot of dads wearing his like Under Armour shit, but so something you need to up your water game. There's some people where I'll talk and I'll be like, oh, how much water do you have in a day? They're like, oh, 600 mils. I'm like, what? Like I'll have like 600 mils worth of water. Like, have you not died? Like I'm on 7 litres of water a day, and if I only have 5, I notice it and I am parched, brother. And then some people are like, oh yeah, I struggle to hit a litre of water a day. I'm like, how? Like, your breath must stink. For me as a competitor, what's the goal? To go as far as my genetics will let me. Now, I have said to my coach that I'll never touch train. Now, I know never say never. Like, there would be maybe a special circumstance. Maybe my mind will change, things change, but in my current state of mind, I've said absolutely no to train. Like, it doesn't seem worth it. The risk to reward ratio doesn't seem worth it. And if I get to, I've said to him, like, if I get to a point where the only thing stopping me from getting better is taking tren, sweet, maybe I'm not due to be a competitor. The only reason that would change my mind is if I get to like that upper echelon level, like seriously qualifying for the Olympia, which I might, mind you, I know is going to take a lot of time, but if the only thing stopping me from qualifying for the Olympia is to do a little bit of tren, sure, I'll probably do it, but I don't see why like people are taking tren just to like essentially make their physique better, like for social media. Like it's, you know, it's such a like a dangerous compound, and taking it for the sake of gaining numbers on a screen blows my mind. Each their own, I guess. Fuck. I'm terrible for that. I really need to stop my swearing. Terrible habit. Terrible habit. One day at a time. I'll stop my swearing. It's not very classy, you know? Swearing is not necessary. It's not the smartest way to get your point across. I think it's just I'm aware of how I use it. Like pretty much I use it as a filler word because I don't give myself a chance to think. And so instead of just letting dead air be dead air in space, I'll fill it. with like swear words, instead of letting myself collect my thoughts. I think a lot of us do that. That's why a lot of people like small talk, because they can't handle dead air. Like they can't handle the silence. So what do? You just fill it with noise. That fucking hurt. I know I said I come out swearing, but I need the shit out of this machine. As well, any of you that know cameras, let me know what camera is like best for this style of filming, because currently I'm just using my iPhone. But battery life does not last on an iPhone when you film entire workouts, and so I would like to eventually invest in like a better camera that is either quality on par to this or better, that also has a decent battery life, and that isn't like super advanced to use, because I'm just like a meat-headed Neanderthal who's not really that good with that sort of stuff. Mind you, I can learn, but I'd rather something that's easy to just plug in and play, rather than have to piss fart around with the instructions and the settings for 2 hours and try and figure it out and then get frustrated and then go fuck this and put it in the cupboard and just keep going back to iPhone. If you have any recommendations, comment and let me know. So I used to have like this $900 Sony camera, but kind of sucked, honestly. Yeah, let's go. Oh my god. Alright, setting up this angle. Let's see how my quads look. Alright, let's put the work in. Pretty much only like probably like what, 9 more leg days to go ish till the first comp, so make the most of it. Finished Dragon Ball Z, by the way. Now, rewatching Attack on Titan, because when I first originally watched it, I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of it, but, you know, there's so much glaze on it, and there's so much hype around it, I was like, oh, I'll give it a rewatch, and actually so far I'm really enjoying it. So, that's pretty good. But yeah, first time I watched it, I was like, meh. But rewatching it, it's actually pretty sick. Like, especially when you come from watching Dragon Ball Z, which, mind you, is like easily one of my top 3 shows of all time, but it's a lot more fast-paced than Dragon Ball Z, Attack on Titan, so the fact that everything happens a bit quicker makes it, I guess, a bit more exciting. But people love to complain about the pacing of it, but you just have short attention spans, and I think the slow pacing is what makes the show so memorable. Like, for example, right, name 10 side characters out of Attack on Titan. How easy can you do that versus Dragon Ball Z? Dragon Ball Z, you can name a ton of side characters because the pacing's so slow, you actually get time to digest the character, what they look like, who they are, their name, their story, all that sort of stuff. Whereas like with a lot of newer shows where they're so fast paced, you don't know half the side characters because they get piss all screen time, and so you don't actually get a chance to properly digest and memorize the character. So, like all like goated shows have pretty slow pacing. Like One Piece, like Dragon Ball Z, like Naruto, like Bleach. Like none of those are super fast paced shows, but they're goated for a reason. Oh, one of the hardest parts about this prep is holding myself back. It's not going like full 100%. So I reckon I could have gotten another 2 or 3 reps there, but like forcing myself to stop and, you know, make sure that I'm not going balls to the wall, so that way my recovery and stress markers stay good. But yeah. Anyway, what's going on with me? Bought myself a new Bible, like an actual study one, so I can actually properly study, because I've like read it back to back, like cover to cover twice, but still feel like I have not retained even a single % of it. So study, so it's like tonight, do my study plan, so I can actually have a guide on how to study the Bible and stuff, and then yeah, crack into it. You know, can't, I suppose, be, you know, I want to make sure that I'm versed in it as much as possible, because I want to have, like, obviously study and reasoning behind my faith rather than just, you know, blind faith, essentially. Come on. Come on. No. If I do one more, that'll take everything out of me. I've still got 2 sets of those split squats. Hetfield split squats. If you are in for a fun treat, give it a go. And let me know how you go with it. Now, big thing for these, if you're trying to target more hamstring and glute over the quads, don't let your shin go, like keep your shin vertical. You don't want to let your knee go past your ankle, like backward. Otherwise you're doing more of a lunge than a squat, and you're just going to start activating more quads. So be careful and be like conscious of your shin angle. That's going to do a lot. Like that goes with like a lot of movements, like with like a lot of RDL movements, like a lot of hip hinge movements as well. You want to really work on keeping that shin vertical. Like a little bit shifting forward is fine, but you don't want it going back. Alright, let's get to work. Tuck this in, otherwise it looks like I'm wearing a bloody dress. Now, as well, if you're doing like a single leg heavy movement, allow yourself a minute's rest between each leg. Don't go one straight after the other, otherwise that second leg isn't going to get the effort it needs because you're already fatigued from that first leg. So allow yourself a bit of that rest, let your heart rate come back down a little bit, and then go on to it. Otherwise, over time, you're going to create imbalance from lack of motor unit recruitment on that second leg. My hamstrings still aren't on par with my quads, but I'll tell you what, if you'd seen my hamstrings a year ago, they've come a long way. Shit. Alright, let's go. Let's get to it. Wow. Alrighty. Now, to be honest, I'm not even meant to be training calves. Coach told me not to, but calves are honestly my favourite thing to train. I love training them, so I'm still gonna add them in anyway. But I only do like a couple of sets just for the enjoyment of training them, to be honest. Like, no rhyme or reason. My calves are pretty good, but I just like training. It's fun. Now with those Hetfield split squats as well, why do those over like dumbbell contralateral split squat or with a standard barbell? Well, the safety bar allows me to rest it on my shoulders and properly balance myself with a bit of help from the squat rack. But as well, it's a great way to be able to load more without grip strength being a determining factor. Like, because that was an 80 kilo split squat, like, versus if I was to hold an 80 kilo dumbbell or 240s, the setup's a lot more difficult. I'm then having to use straps of grip strength, and then this is setup of like actually getting into the squat. Whereas with that, throw the safety bar on, put your foot back, you're pretty much set up, ready to go. And as I said, like, you can rest on your shoulders, and that way with one hand, you can use it to support a bit of balance. Ugh. Oh, man. Oof. Calves are so fun. I want my calves to be so big that, like, jeans just aren't an option, eh? Like, I'm already at the point where I'd much prefer to wear cargos because it's way more comfortable. Wearing jeans just sucks. And I don't want like those, I know some of those companies have like those real stretchy kind of jeans, but they're so like skin tight. When jeans are skin tight on the whole leg, it just looks gay. So I'm not about that either. So cargos is the way to go. Cargos, shirt that's loose on the stomach, hugs the shoulders, arms and chest, and like some nice sneakers, like me, big Jordan 4 fan. That's the fucking go. Sorry, shouldn't have sworn. That's the go. Told you, terrible habit. Alright, last set. Do some posing, do some cardio and get out of here. I've got things to do. One more. So his legs are looking. Not fucking, sorry, not at all bad. Right, cardio time. Well, thank you all for watching. See you on the next one. Right, cardio, let's get back to work. Laters.